I'm Isabella.
I'm Alexa, and this is our science communication project on GMOs.
So we are interviewing our family, ages 4 through 75, and we are testing to see how much each age group really knows about GMOs and whether or not they think they are good or bad for them.
Alrighty, sweetheart. So this is Matthew, or what's your other name?
Catboy.
Catboy. He is 4. So, have you ever heard of a GMO?
No, I didn't.
No. Have you ever heard Mommy talk about them?
No.
No. Do you know what one is?
What?
So, you know the oranges that you just had?
No.
Yes. You know what they do with the oranges, baby?
Mm-hmm.
They take the orange and they make it bigger. They add stuff from other plants and they make it bigger. What do you think about that?
Better.
Better? You think it's better? Do you think it's good for us?
Yeah.
And your num-nums? You want to eat those?
I'll go get them.
You gonna go get them?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
You'll be right back. No, it's okay. You don't have to go get them right now, sweetheart.
I got to get them. They rip apart.
It's okay. So what do you think? Do you think they're good for us?
What?
The
apples.
apples. You think the apples? You know that apples are changed too? You know that scientists change apples too?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, do you like that?
Yeah.
You think it's good for us?
Yeah, but about corn.
What about corn? Corn's changed too. They put GMOs in corn.
Yeah, but about Halloween, about candy from Halloween.
You know the candy from Halloween? They have stuff from the GMOs in them.
And what about bananas?
Bananas? They do that to bananas too. And they're just as good, right, baby?
Right.
Yeah. Do you want what are we talking about?
And pineapple.
And pineapples, that's right. Can you say GMOs?
GMOs.
GMOs, are they good or bad? What do you think?
I'm good.
You think they're good?
And breakfast.
And breakfast, that's right. All right, well, thank you for giving me your interview, little buddy. Give me a high five. All right, thank you. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Megan. She is my 10-year-old sister. So, Megan, today we're going to talk about GMOs. So what do you think GMO stands for?
I think GMO is let's say we take an orange and we don't want it to rot, so they implant like a special chemical that is sort of eatable and it doesn't kill people, so it doesn't rot.
So a GMO stands for genetically modified organism, and so what they do is they take like DNA, so like they'll take like the DNA, like let's say from like a tomato or something,
And
or
put
like
it
a fish.
inside a
Yeah.
fruit.
Not necessarily just a fruit, but they'll
Like a
put it in
vegetable.
like,
Like tangerine.
they'll put it in something.
Yeah.
For the most part, they'll put it in something.
Yeah.
So
They'll put it in fabric. Or
sometimes they put it in fabric to
like that
change-
fabric that you have webs.
Maybe.
Like the fabric in this
So-
shirt.
Well, this is cotton. I don't even know. So, do you think in our food GMOs are good or bad?
Good.
And why do you think that they're good?
Because they're helping us, helping the fruit so we can have it longer, and just wasting money and only getting it if you don't have time eating it. You can have more time to eat it, and without you have a couple more days. Like if you want to finish that first, you have, and then you have a couple more days. But if you don't put the GMO in it, you can't have it's like a day after it starts to rot. But the GMO it like 4 days later or 5, it starts to rot because it has a longer egg span than just a little. And
Yeah, that's very true. So do you think that we should buy GMO like foods versus like organic or different? We should buy that instead?
Mostly organic, probably. No.
And why would you think mostly organic? Like, what's your opinion on that?
No, organic. Organic doesn't have pesticides on it.
Neither do GMO foods.
Okay, so GMO and organic we could both buy. They make GMO and they could probably make something in the future. GMO and organic.
Very
Because
true.
organic, no pesticides, GMO, no pesticides, they're the same thing, but they're more fresh and
Well, it's a very good opinion. Well, thank you, baby.
welcome.
And And now to Bella.
Hi, Avalon. Hi. All right, so I've got a question for you. Do you know what GMO stands for?
Genetically modified organisms.
Awesome. Now, do you know what a GMO is?
I think a GMO is when like there's like a food with like some sort of like disease in it basically, and it's like some sort of like, I don't really know like the definition exactly, like it's basically like poisonous food and it's not good for you.
All right, so what if I told you that genetically modified organisms are not really bad, but they're not good? So when a fruit or a vegetable is being genetically modified, it's usually to make it grow faster, to make it grow bigger, or sweeter, or a different color. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's poisonous or terribly bad for you, but it's not how it usually would grow. Usually scientists will do it in a lab, or they'll experiment with it out in a field with different hormones and things like that. All right, did you learn something?
Yes.
Awesome, high five. Hi Carson.
Hello.
Do you know what a GMO is?
Yes.
What does it stand for?
GMO, genetically modified organism.
Yes, and do you know what that means?
So it's when they scientifically modify like corn, so it's not natural. It's they put something to either make it bigger or smaller, or grow faster, or change color.
Yeah, it's different plants, animals, microorganisms, or organisms that are grown and manipulated in laboratories by scientists to alter their appearance, their taste, their size, their shape, how fast they grow, how slow they grow. So yeah, high five.
Yeah.
Okay, solid. Hi Dad.
Hi, babe.
So do you know what a GMO is?
I kind of know what it is, but I don't know the exact meaning of it.
Do you know what it stands for?
I don't know, something gross, molecular, obtuse. I don't know.
Okay, so do you think GMOs are good or bad?
Bad,
Bad. Why do you think that?
because TV tells me.
Because the TV tells you. Okay, so if I told you that GMOs were not particularly bad, but they weren't in fact great, would you believe that?
No.
Okay, so a GMO is a genetically modified organism. And that means that a specific vegetable or fruit or organism is being modified to either make it grow faster or grow bigger, taste sweeter, be a different color,
Right.
something like that. And
Steroids.
it's usually done by scientists in a lab or sometimes out in fields with experiments. So they aren't necessarily terrible for you. Like, they won't kill you if you eat GMOs. But they're not the healthiest, most organic thing in the world.
Rather not have them.
Okay. Did you learn something though?
I did. You just taught me.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right.
High five.
Love you.
Back to you, Alexa.
This is my grandpa, Richard. He is 73. So, Papa, what do you know about GMOs? Like, what is a GMO?
Well, genetically modified, like corn, all the things that we're growing, and they actually modify them and get rid of some of the bad things and try to maximize, the productivity of it.
So, what do you think about GMOs, like, in our food?
Well, I don't have a problem. Some people do, because they just think it's another thing that we've genetically modified, and it's not a natural, but it is natural. I mean, we're just tinkering with stuff that, as long as it doesn't hurt you, and it makes the plant, be able to maybe hold off a pesticide. Without pesticides, I think it'll be better for us in the long run if we haven't got to use pesticides as versus changing the plants, defenses, and getting it traits to where it would be, would help it grow without pesticides.
Yeah, that's very true. So I think what they do with like the bananas or like whatever, like the corn, so they take the DNA from, like, let's say just like another organism in general, right? And then so like they did this tomato. It was called the Flavor Saver tomato. So
Right.
what they did is they took the gene from that tomato because they figured out like, oh well, this isn't going to like go bad as easily. So they added that, and then like they kind of like reversed it almost, like
Right.
the way that they added it, and so it made it last longer than a normal tomato. And so it looked like a normal tomato, but it just lasted longer on the shelf. So just like the way that they use it is just like kind of like, do you remember the lab that I did last year
Right.
where I changed the DNA of the bacteria?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So do you think that that's a better alternative to like just growing it with like pesticides or just growing it like organically
I'm
in the field?
definitely, I mean, if you look at Darwinism and a natural selection,
Yeah.
all of us as species adapt. You know, in the long run, we've changed from what we were. And so that's just more of a natural thing. If you're still doing it, you know, genetically modifying it a little bit ahead of time, I don't see it as a problem. We're not like cloning things. We're just helping adapt to a different thing and to get another, you know, get something from it that's also going to help mankind, because food is a big thing in this world. You know, and if we can maximize the yield, it's going to benefit everybody.
That sounds pretty solid. Well, thank
Well,
you so much, Papa.
okay.
I very
Well,
much
thank you.
appreciate
I
it.
got it all from you.
Hi! Alright, so now that you've heard all 7 opinions on GMOs, what do you think GMOs are? Are they good or bad for you? I really hope you learned something. Bye!